You are the one. You're the one that your child self had always knew that you were going to be. You're the one who you always thought you were going to be. I think a part of you questioned if you were ever going to make it to this point in your life, or to this space, or to this place of being healed or knowing yourself. And you made it. Now the question is, what are you going to do with it? You weren't built to be this beautiful, this vibrant, this creative for nothing. You weren't built to keep these gifts hidden and protected in silence and kept to yourself. You were built this way because you were meant to shine. You were meant to shine and show up for so many different people in the way that you create, to remind so many people of what they are also capable of tapping in within themselves and creating for themselves. I'm seeing a lighthouse, and I'm seeing water as far as the eye can see, kind of like an ocean. And in the horizon, there's like a sun that's coming up. And there's all these ships coming in, and they're coming towards, they're flocking towards the lighthouse. And the lighthouse is kind of on its own little island in the middle of the water. And when I look around, they're coming from everywhere. Oof, this is making me really emotional. I think for a long time you felt really isolated. You felt like you were unseen and like you were completely by yourself. I can see somebody who had to do a lot of healing and had to release a lot of things and, choose themselves over and over and over and over and over again. And, they came to a point where it's like, what was this all for, right? And I think a part of you is starting to recognize that you feel different internally. You feel happier. You feel more connected with yourself. You're more in love with yourself. You're treating yourself differently. You're not accepting what you used to accept. And you're loving on yourself so much more than I think you ever have, which is also letting your inner child out to be able to dance in the sun, is what I just saw. And that has always been the goal. It's always been about you returning home to yourself. It's always been about you being able to come back home to you and remembering who you truly are and loving yourself, regardless of what was happening externally to you. And I think you finally gotten to this point where you have been loving on yourself so much that universe, source, God, whatever, is ready to start putting you out to be seen. They're ready. They feel like you are ready to start to actually shine that light and be seen. For a while, a lot of the work was happening internally. There was a lot of internal shifts happening for you, and a lot of healing and having to look at yourself and kind of but ask yourself why it is that you were in these predicaments. Why did you accept these things? Where did this come from, right? What made you continue to accept those things over and over again and not see that you were accepting less than what you deserved at work, in relationships, when it came to who you gave your energy to? And I feel like you have been just taking such good care of your energy and protecting it. I'm seeing someone protect it like it's a little egg. I think it's the penguins. It's so funny. But I just saw a penguin. I think it's the male penguin that will sit on the egg and never leave it until it cracks open, right? And I'm seeing that that's kind of what you did, right? You recognized what you had, you recognized the egg, and you sat down on that guy. And you did not get up for anything. You didn't let anything throw you off course or push you off course or anything. And you literally sat there and waited and waited and waited and kept giving to yourself and kept loving on yourself and kept supporting yourself until the egg was ready to crack. And my love, the egg is ready to crack. And I see as it cracks a light shining outside of it. Now, what's interesting is that I just heard that you've always been this light. You just didn't see it. You just didn't acknowledge your own light. And so for a long time, you kept your light really dim. And I'm seeing like a candle in the rain and under a bushel. And you know how they kind of like flicker? You really kept your light really, really dim for a really long time. And I think there's a part of you that felt like you had to do that to be in the relationships that you were in, to continue the life that you were living, to continue being in the job that you were in. And you're finally realizing that you didn't dim your light for yourself, you did it for other people. And it wasn't serving you anymore at a certain point in time. Something happened, some type of grief or loss occurred that really caused you to shift that. And I'm seeing 9 months to about 2 years ago, there was a shift that occurred for you that really made you start to realize what you were giving and how you were treating yourself and what you were putting up with. And there was a shift in like the way that you saw yourself at that point in time. And since you've shifted in that point in time to seeing yourself, you've been that little penguin sitting on that egg, taking care of it, loving it, keeping it warm, right? Waiting for the day for things to truly turn in your favor. And I just saw the Wheel of Fortune in my mind's eye. And so, baby, things are turning. And I'm getting really emotional because I think this is something that is going to be shocking to you. I think that, I'm hearing from tears of sadness to tears of joy. I think this is something that's going to really light you up in a way that I don't think you felt that in a long time. And there's just so much happiness coming and so much excitement. And I'm hearing like whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Have faith and have trust that it's all going to work out. You are a true creator. And so maybe you creating content, or you painting and creating art, or you singing, or you creating poems, or you writing a book. Maybe you're also multifaceted. I'm seeing somebody who does a lot of different things and puts their hands in a lot of different pots and just really is good at all those things, right? And enjoys all those things. It's going to bring that flock of ships in. They're all going to come to your island to see what you've been working on, to understand how you got to where you were. They're going to want to understand how you did it. You are a lighthouse, and you are meant to light up this world. And you've known that from a really, really young age. You're meant to help guide the others, to help them see what is truly possible in this life. I'm seeing that Latina artist, Selena, I'm the worst with these things. And she was shot. I can't remember her name. That's so awful. But she did a documentary. Maybe that's significant for somebody here. And in the documentary, she said, you know what? I might not reach my dreams, but I'm going to fucking try. And that's exactly what you're doing. Is you're reaching for your dreams in the way that your inner child is so proud of you. And your team is so proud of you. And you're trying. And you're putting the effort in. And you're taking a chance. And that is all going to pay off. You just need to hold on for a little bit longer. Hold the faith. Keep your mind straight. This is so important that you are making sure that you are being careful about the thoughts that you're feeding. Everything is working out for you. Everything is working out for you. And all because you loved on yourself. And so that light that's shining out of that egg, right? That internal light that you've been protecting and building and taking care of and loving on, right? That frosty flame, that flingling frosty flame, I don't know. That you have been building inside and brightening up inside is starting to shimmer outwards. You will know this message is for you if you have noticed that when you're outside or in public that you're starting to get looks. People are starting to notice you, and they're not really conscious on why they're doing it. It's more of an unconscious thing, but you've started to notice that you're bringing in more attention than you were. Maybe you're receiving things for free, or people are letting you cut them in line, or people are just noticing you more than they used to. And that is a sign that this reading is for you, as well as that your light is shining outside, that you have built such a bright light internally, and you are so authentic and true that you are shining that externally to the world to see. And you are bringing in all of those ships all around you, thousands of them in every direction. And this is going to be probably the first time in your life that you've ever been seen in this way and felt really understood. Oof, that's a lot of sadness. This is the first time I think you've ever felt this understood and seen and loved for who you truly were. I just heard that, this wasn't something that you received when you were younger. You were kind of, I guess like it felt like you couldn't be yourself. It felt like being yourself was like not appreciated and loved and seen and held in a safe way. And so you learned how to be to fit in, and fitting in never felt right. It never really felt like right for you. And it was really difficult and took a lot of energy. And I think that you are starting to recognize that since you've built that light internally, you're starting to be authentic and true to yourself. You're starting to love on yourself in that way. You're starting to show up unapologetically and say, you like me or you don't, that has nothing to do with me, right? The right people will love me. The right people will see me. I am shining my light to bring in the right people to me. Ooh, an orb just floated by. That's so interesting. So I'm here to say that you're the one, and you did it. And you should feel so, so, so proud. And as you sit here waiting for the ships to float in, take a look back and acknowledge all the versions that you had to be to truly get here. Love on all those versions of yourself. Let yourself be proud of all of the things that you've accomplished and overcome to get to this point. Because you truly, truly, truly are a treasure. If this resonates for you, leave me a lighthouse in the comments. And know that it is your time. Love and light.